And welcome to Overtime, brought to you by Kingscast. It's at www.kingscast.net. I'm Keith Cornell.
And I'm Chris Kalaszewski.
We had an opportunity to interview Jon Moncrief of the Daily Examiner. Great guy. If you don't read him, check him out. We'll link it up on the site. Here's our interview with Jon Moncrief talking about Kings hockey.
Check it out.
All right, everybody, we're at the Hotel Figueroa in downtown Los Angeles, and the guy in the middle is Jon Moncrief of the LA Kings Examiner. Jon, welcome to the show.
Good to be here, Keith. Thank you, Chris. Good to be here, guys.
So, Jon, you are actually have access to the Kings.
Yes.
So basically, Jon is giving us credibility right now, which is kind of huge for us. You know, you covered the team last season. You're here this season. What's the biggest difference that you've seen this year?
I think it's, first of all, it started in training camp. It started in the summer where the guys were here working out together, and there was a real camaraderie that was developed among the guys. Apparently, from what I've been told, in years past, that didn't happen. So I think that really kind of set things in motion. When they got to training camp, it wasn't oh, I know you I played with you last year.
Yeah.
Oh, I've seen you play. These guys spent a lot of time together. They spent a lot of time during training camp together, and so as a result, I think that cohesiveness was there that I didn't sense in the room last year.
It seems like at Hockey Fest, interviewing some of these people, that there's a shift in energy.
Yes.
Are you seeing that in the locker room now as well?
I'm seeing that in the locker room. I'm seeing that at the practice facility when they're practicing. And I have to tell you, it all starts with Ryan Smyth. Watching Ryan Smyth at practice is something that every Kings fan should at least one time this year get out to a practice and watch him practice, because the guy finishes every drill all the way through. And you wouldn't think that's a big thing, but trust me, it is. And you notice other guys doing the same thing. Like him. You notice Kobe doing that in drills. You notice Just Williams, unfortunately, before he got hurt, was doing that. And that kind of leadership rubs off.
So, Jon, what do you think we are right now as a team? Do we need anything right now? You know, obviously we've had some injury problems. You know, Williams is out for a while. Do you see the Kings going out there and making a move right now, or sort of sticking pat with the plan they have right now?
Well, to be honest with you, Chris, it's a very interesting dynamic this year. I can't remember a year where we got to January and there was one major trade in the league. Not by one team, you know, one or two trades. But in the league, it was just one trade, and it wasn't even a big one. Usually you have a blockbuster at this point.
Yeah.
And I think what that tells you is so many teams are bunched up in playoff position that it's hard for them to say, all right, we're sellers. We're gonna write off the year. We're gonna try and move some veterans and get some draft picks and try to rebuild on the fly here. Case in point would be Kopitar. It's like the Bowmeister thing last year in Florida. Do you tell your fans you're giving up on the season by trading him, or do you keep him whether you sign him or not? So that's part of where I think it's difficult right now at this stage to gauge what the Kings are going to do. Probably at the Olympic break, there'll be a much clearer situation. Talking with Dean, he won't bring in a guy unless he fits that room. We've been talking about that room and how important that is. I'm telling you right now, I don't know personally whether Kopitar is a guy that would fit that room or not. I got in my head and said no, just based on what I've heard and what I've read. But then another situation with another player of Russian descent that's on the team currently, which we can get into if you'd like.
That is.
That is. Where's number 24? But anyway, he loves Frolov. Frolov is constantly talking to me about life and about hockey.
Oh, really?
So I'm telling you that there's that. People don't really know about that. I wanted to make sure that, you know, because I'm one of the guys that's the first to say, oh, get rid of him. He's not working out this year. He doesn't understand what a contract year is all about. You know, so, but by the same token, the guy continues to chop wood. But again, as I said before, he doesn't understand the concept of a walk year. This is a year you want to put up big numbers and increase your value. And instead, it's like he's going in a reverse situation. And I don't know what that is. Now, my feeling is he was benched for one game, and he went on like a 3 or 4 game tear where he put up points.
He did.
He found out he wasn't on the Russian team this week, and look at what he's done in these past couple of games.
Yeah.
So maybe somebody needs to slash his tires once a week, or somebody needs to just, you know, or tell him he's no good. Or I don't know what it is about Alex, because he's immensely talented. There's no question about that. With his size and his hands, he's immensely talented, and just for some reason, you know, it's right here.
And he's always been that way.
To me, the biggest weaknesses are they need a guy on the blue line who can shoot on the power play. Because I think Jack and Drew have tremendous upside, no question.
They do.
But there still is, something's not clicking there yet.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but they're just not trusting themselves on the shot yet from the point. And you need that. because you can't have Kobe and Williams when he comes back right.
No, you can't.
And to me, backup goaltender. I know Erzberg has been okay, but God forbid something happens to Quick right now, this team's going to be in trouble.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether it's Martin Biron with the Islanders, whether it's Manny Legacy from Carolina, whoever it is. I know that's
Did they draft him?
they need somebody, kind of how Felix Potvin when he came in, kind of raised and he didn't even have to play. He just has to be able to be ready to go. That's I think what they'll be looking for in the next month or so as we get to that.
So what's your take on Anze Kopitar this season? I mean, he started off the year, was having a fantastic year. We thought this was the Anze we've all been waiting for, and sort of been struggling as of late. You look at the other elite players around the league, and those guys don't score 22 goals out of 23 games.
Yeah, it's definitely a monumental struggle, and I know that nobody is more concerned about it than Anze. Talking to him, as a matter of fact, when I talked to Dean this past Sunday for about an hour, Anze was next to talk to him. I mean, he's seeking advice from a lot of different people. And I can share this with you. One of the reasons Dean wanted to bring Wayne Gretzky in, even if it's to come to town once a month, is to be able to, just sort of say, look, Anze, I've been there. That kind of thing. And again, he's 22 years old. So I know Ovechkin got it like that. And Crosby got it like that. Gretz got it like that. And Luke got it like that. But some guys need a little coddling. And the thing I'm excited about for him is that he is still getting quality opportunities. He's still getting good looks. He's still generating offense. He's still trying to do some of the little things that guys, when they get in a funk, they just think, I got to just stand here in the zone, in the crease and wait for the puck to come to me. He's still doing something. He's working hard on trying to be better on faceoffs. And I think if he continues to do those kind of things, then the goals will come.
Let's talk about, John, you're in the press box sort of day in, day out. We're in the stands drinking.
And there are times I wish I were in the stands.
Indeed. Now, as a journalist, and you are covering the team, it is the Los Angeles Kings. Are you a fan at all of the team a little bit? I mean, I don't wear a jersey, but
I do root for them to have success, absolutely.
Okay. Because if you won the cup, you might clap a little bit, which is frowned upon, I know.
Yes,
so Gant says.
Yes, I would probably clap once or twice.
Okay.
It's funny. I covered the Devils in New Jersey when they were on their cup. They're on their cup run, their last one of their three. And I can tell you that when you get to the playoffs and you get late in the playoffs, all of that stuff goes out the window. Trust me, I can tell you stories of some of the beat writers and sportscasters in New York, and you know who I'm talking about out there. We're just as boisterous as any fans that were sitting right below us. I want to see the team do well because it allows them to be a little bit more loose with access in terms of wanting to talk to people like me and make themselves available to the general public.
Who gives the best interview on the team?
Wow, easily that's going to be Matt Green.
Knew it.
He's got the best personality.
Yeah, he does. He clearly is in the right town.
Oh, yeah.
Because he definitely has a future in front of the camera in various ways here in Hollywood in the future. There's no question the guy's a ham. He does not take himself seriously at all. He's great to talk to. Wayne Simmons is also a very good interview. He's very forthright, to me, that's why I love covering hockey. I've covered all sports. Hockey players are the best athletes to cover without question because most of them are that Canadian farm boy, respectful and just, it's one of those things where they're not full of themselves. You don't have to worry about like NBA guys carrying guns in the locker rooms like you may have heard.
I don't see Doughty coming strapped to a game. Yeah. John, will you be covering the Olympics at all? Is the Examiner just send you to Vancouver?
I wish they were setting it up.
Come on.
I wish.
Now, the draft. Are you going to be at the draft?
Yes, I will be at the draft, absolutely. I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, good. I'm looking forward to it.
So that is it with today with Jon Moncrief. Thanks so much for coming out, John. Appreciate it. Great insights.
Appreciate it. So great. Thank you very much, Jon Moncrief of the LA Kings Examiner. If you're not reading him, you should subscribe to him today.
Definitely.
I'm Keith Cornell.
And I'm Chris Calzius.
And thank you for watching Overtime by Kingscast.